And I can't represent myself. I am myself. I'm a Moorish American national.
You don't just come in and say, I'm my own country, I'm going to do what I want. So you're going to jail.
This sovereign citizen recently discovered the hard way why you should not treat the judge with disrespect in his courtroom. This man has missed 3 court appearances before this one clogged up his case with no big deal, and the judge even tried to be kind a few months ago, but now he is so done being patient. The judge is no longer playing around and hits this man with the heart reality he deserves. In other words, the judge shuts him down completely and renders a verdict that is so satisfying in the end. Without further ado, let's dive in and watch this clown be demolished and humbled by this non-nonsense Michigan judge.
He has 3 separate driving suspended charges that were scheduled for jury trial. File 21213ST alleges driving suspended second offense on January 31st, 2021 here in St. Joseph County. File 202073 alleges driving suspended on September 17th here in St. Joseph County. I think there may be a speeding charge with that. File 202653 also charges driving suspended second offense and forgery and speeding. All of those matters were scheduled for jury trial today, November 10th. Mr. Morrow Bay wishes to represent himself on these matters. He has a perspective on the Michigan Motor Vehicle Code that disagrees with the state's version of it, but he didn't want an attorney and didn't wish to have representation. He wanted to represent himself in all of these matters. So we treated him like an attorney. We set the matter for a final pretrial to prepare for jury trial. And he didn't show up. So there are presently 3 arrest warrants for Mr. Morrow Bay's arrest for failing to appear for duly scheduled last pretrials about 3 weeks ago. We don't show up on the morning of trial with a basket full of papers and inconvenience 30 to 50 jurors who have to come in and hear your case and several witnesses without preparing for it. So we scheduled a pretrial conference and you didn't show up. So I've called off the jurors for today and the prosecutor has called off all the witnesses. And there are currently 3 separate warrants for your arrest for failing to appear. But you're here now.
I think I was unaware.
We sent that to the address that you gave us. And if you're representing yourself, you need to act like you're representing yourself. We sent you duly notice to your Sage Street address in Kalamazoo. The same notice you got for this.
I don't live there anymore, and I can't represent myself. I am myself.
All right, well, I'm not clairvoyant. I don't know that you moved. So, Mr. McNair, you're driving me crazy. I'm going to put you in the waiting room. You're walking all over the place and flashing the screen and giving me vertigo, and you're sideways and upside down. And so I'll be with you in a bit. Don't go away. Yes, that's your position. Then you're not doing a very good job of it, because you didn't tell me where you lived. You didn't show up for a pretrial while we prepared for this. And now you come rolling in with a hat on the morning that your 30 or 40 jurors are supposed to be here. That's not a very good way to do business.
It's not a hat. It's my religious headdress. I'm a Moorish American national.
Yes, I recall.
The judge is absolutely right in this situation. And honestly, I've never understood the mindset of these sovereign citizens. They show up to court looking like they just rolled out of bed, hoodie, hat, 0 effort, and expect to be taken seriously while fighting serious charges. Like, come on, you're in a courtroom, not your living room. Show some respect. What really gets me is they claim the judge has no jurisdiction, yet they still show up. If they truly believed that, why bother coming at all? And in this guy's case, he already missed 3 previous court dates, so yeah, it makes sense the judge is fed up. If you want any chance of the court listening to your arguments, no matter how out there they are, the least you could do is look like you give a damn. But nope. Instead, it's always this chaotic energy like they're actively trying to sabotage themselves. If I were the judge, I'd have a hard time not saying, yeah, no, you're not getting away with that attitude or that outfit.
All right.
Proven jurisdiction to begin with.
Ms. Davis is here
I'm still waiting for
on
jurisdiction.
behalf of the prosecutor's office. Ms. Davis, you have any thought on this?
Your Honor, I would ask that he be held in contempt for failing to appear at the last pretrial. I would also ask that an order enter regarding discovery if all of these items that he's holding on to are intended to be used as exhibits at the trial. I would like to have copies of those so that we can be prepared. Also, I'd like to have our motion for joinder of the cases heard so we can settle that matter prior to choosing the jury and having another date set.
Right in the middle of my busy arraignment morning when I have 14 people waiting to be arraigned, that probably won't work out too good.
If we
But it's
get
all on
updated
him. He
address.
didn't show up. He also got notice of your motion. Mr. Morrow Bay, do you have documents that you were going to present as part of your defense?
I mean, I mailed in documents and I never got a response.
Well, did you have some? Do you have some you wish to present?
Well, I mailed in an affidavit to you more than once, and this is also my legal notice for my lawful name change. Because I put it on the record that I'm a Moorish American national and I'm not American or a U.S. citizen, excuse me. I'm a man of the land. I'm native to the land. So a lot of these rules that the state of Michigan is creating is not applicable to me, unfortunately.
I would greatly appreciate it if you could like and subscribe to this kind of stuff, as it greatly benefits the channel. Let's return to the video.
And I was trying to be respectful to the court and let the court know since the beginning in a respectful manner. And I have lots of documentation to prove it.
All right. I want you to take Mr. Perdue into custody. We're going to execute the 3 bench warrants that are currently out for his arrest for contempt. We'll take him to jail and we'll make an arrangement later to discuss.
Are you arresting me right now?
Right.
Wow.
I don't have time to do it now. Thank you. Bye. Mr. Perdue, you're going to jail, the St. Joe County Jail here in St. Joe County, and I'm going to hold on to you in lieu of 3 $1,000 bonds till we can review your contempt and the other things we need to deal with. But if you're going to represent yourself, you need to do it right. You need to show up when you're supposed to show up. You need to follow the rules of evidence and procedure. You don't just come in and say, I'm my own country, I'm going to do what I want. So you're going to jail.
I was unaware.
Your bond is $1,000 per file, and I will talk with you later. So right now you're going to the St. Joe County Jail. All right,
Thank
we'll
you.
deal with him, Deborah, when we have more time.
Thank
But he's clearly in contempt. And he is his own person, so he isn't representing himself. He is himself. We'll see if we can sort that out.
That was honestly one of the most satisfying hearings I've seen in a while. Not even gonna lie. This one stood out from the usual cases I cover, mainly because Judge Middleton handled it absolutely perfectly. The way he runs his courtroom is just on another level. He gave the sovereign citizen just enough time to talk, but not enough to let him hijack the hearing with all his nonsense. And honestly, that works in the court's favor. When sentencing comes around, all those ridiculous statements can only make things worse for the guy. I love the moment when Judge Middleton just picked up the phone and calmly called the sheriff's office to have him arrested right there on the spot. Like, how bold do you have to be to show up to court after missing 3 previous hearings and still think you can start spouting off about living man theories and how you don't identify as an American, but also somehow still want to live here because it's the best country in the world? The logic isn't just flawed, it's non-existent. It blows my mind that we're in 2025 and people are still out here pulling these stunts. Years ago, I used to think by now society would be way more advanced, like we'd all be smarter, more evolved. But honestly, it feels like things have only gotten messier. And sure, with the internet and media being what they are, there are way more platforms for people to share all kinds of wild opinions. But at some point, you've got to live in reality, and these sovereign citizens just don't. That's what makes watching this stuff so interesting. Their complete detachment from reality is bizarre and kind of entertaining. But yeah, Judge Middleton, calm, collected, and completely in control. He didn't give this guy a single inch, and that's exactly how it should have gone. What do you all think, though? Was the judge being too harsh, or did this guy get exactly what he deserved? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I'm really curious to hear your take. And as always, thank you so much for watching. Take care, everyone.